And now let's move on to what to eat for breakfast.
How do you achieve your protein goal in the morning?
You'll want to start your day with 25 to 30 grams of protein powder as a protein shake or smoothie. Or you can try a wild card protein to offset any carb overload at breakfast.
What type of chemicals does protein release?
Protein releases glucagon, the fat burning hormone. You are preparing your body to burn fat all day long.
What are some of the useful ways to create your protein smoothie?
You can add berries to your smoothie with a coconut, almond, or rice milk base. You can choose milk proteins, whey and casein, or vegan protein powders.
What are the benefits of eating beans?
Resistant starch in beans, lentils, and peas give you the power to enhance your second meal effect. It is common in British culture to consume a slice of bread with beans for breakfast. Your breakfast will control your hunger and balance your blood sugar and hormones at lunchtime and for the rest of the day.
What is your daily fiber goal?
Your fiber goal is at least 30 grams per day.
How much fiber should you have for breakfast?
You can get a head start by eating 10 to 15 grams of fiber with breakfast.
What are 8 common types of breakfast?
1. Bread based. 2. Cold cereal and hot cereal based. 3. Pancake or waffle based. 4. Egg based. 5. Yogurt based. 6. Meat based or smoked fish based. 7. Potato based. And finally, 8. Asian rice based.
Bread based. Okay. What are some of the examples of a bread based breakfast?
Toasted breads, bagels, rolls, English muffins, corn muffins, or bran muffins.
So, what is the problem with the bread based foods?
Fundamentally, the problem is clearly an abundance of high glycemic load carbohydrate items.
What is the most common bread based product eaten?
Well, of course, that's white bread.
And what is an ideal bread based product for breakfast?
An ideal bread-based product is a whole grain bread, one slice, with beans.
That's what the British people do.
Yeah.
So, what do we know about cold cereal?
Cold cereal usually includes crunchy cereals like granola in a bowl with milk and fruit chunks such as strawberries, bananas, or blueberries. The problem lies in processed cereals, which tend to be highly sweetened, providing little nutritional value.
What are some examples of hot cereals?
Oatmeal is a prototype of hot cereal.
What should you do? What should you look out for hot cereals?
Beware of the packaged and processed oatmeal with added sugar or other sweeteners.
What is the problem with the pancakes and waffles for breakfast?
These foods are generally high in carbohydrates, especially when covered in butter and sugar-laden syrups and jams.
What would be a healthy alternative to pancakes or waffles?
An alternative can be to choose grains with lower glycemic loads or protein-based flour to create the pancake or waffle batter. Instead of sugar-rich syrups, try using fresh fruit and a splash of honey.
Now let's look at the egg-based breakfast. How should I make my eggs for breakfast?
Eggs can be fried, scrambled, poached, or served as an omelet.
So, what are the problems with the egg-based breakfast?
The problem is not necessarily eggs themselves, but rather the cooking oil when used to prepare these dishes.
So, you need to choose the right kind of cooking oil.
Correct.
What is an alternative to eggs?
An alternative to this type of breakfast food can be tofu, quinoa, or low-fat cheese sauce.
Now, let's look at yogurt-based breakfast. What is so convenient about yogurt for breakfast?
For many of us who are looking for a quick, on-the-go breakfast, yogurt-based breakfast food items are the way to go.
What do you need to watch out for the yogurt-based products?
Greek yogurts can be a good source of protein, but watch out for added sweeteners and preservatives. Yogurts with a high amount of sugar tend to be higher in carbohydrates, thus leading to higher insulin levels.
What is the best yogurt choice?
You want to choose Greek yogurts with less added sugar like Chobani or Faye yogurts.
Now let's look at meat-based or smoked fish-based breakfast. What are some of the negative effects about meat-based products?
Although these meats allow you to get an early start on protein, they can be loaded with saturated fats, salts, and preservatives. Also, you want to opt for non-grain-fed meats to prevent inflammatory effects.
Meat-based and smoked fish-based products also have some other alternatives, and what are they?
As an alternative, you want to try to choose foods like quinoa and tofu. Many food companies such as Morningstar make products such as tofu-based meat alternatives for many well-known breakfast meats. They are worth a try.
What is the difference between farmed fish and wild-caught fish?
Farmed fish tend to be less expensive than free-range, but they are arguably less nutritious. Farmed fish also tend to contain many harmful toxins.
What are some risks for buying smoked fish?
Similar to breakfast meats, smoked fish may run the risk of being saturated in salts and preservatives.
What type of fish products should you buy?
When choosing fish, try to opt for wild-caught fish rather than its farm-raised counterpart.
What is the downside of potato-based products for breakfast?
Potato items contain an excess amount of carbohydrates. For example, French fries and hash browns.
What's a good alternative to potatoes?
Opt for its healthier cousin, sweet potatoes.
What is the difference between potato and sweet potato?
The difference is that sweet potatoes contain low glycemic amylose starch versus potatoes which contain high glycemic amylopectin starch.
Now let's look at Asian rice-based breakfast. Which Asian countries use rice as a staple food in their diet in general and breakfast in particular?
Asian breakfast foods include foods from China, India, Philippines, Japan, and Vietnam, which contain the staple food item rice with a high glycemic load.
How can you balance out a rice-based breakfast which has a high glycemic load?
You can easily balance these breakfast items by replacing at least 50% of rice items with beans, protein, or fiber.